Hello! In the third part of the SIT preparation series, we'll look at how to add cameras to Synology Surveillance Station. After watching this video, you'll become familiar with how to add device licenses, how to check a camera for compatibility, how to add cameras quickly, how to save resources, how to create recording schedules, and how to easily make optimizations. As always, we'll start with theory before the short practical part follows. Let's get started. What should be considered when adding a license? The system must be online when adding or deleting a license. If your system is an offline system, we have a solution for this as well. Simply download our DSCam app to your smartphone and add licenses in the app. In addition to the license key, simply enter the data of the target NAS and then log onto your NAS via DSCam. The license will then be imported automatically. Also, in case of hardware defect, the purchased licenses can be released by our support. All you need is the serial number of the defective device and the serial number and the proof of the purchase of the license. In the next slide, you will find a short overview of how many licenses are required for each camera type. As a rule, one license is required per camera. The exceptions to this rule are multi-lens cameras and video servers. In these cases, one Synology device license is required per channel. Before I go into detail about the listed compatible camera models, I would like to show you the compatibility list for IP cameras on our website. Just go to our Synology website and scroll to the very end, and there you will be able to see the compatibility section, and simply click on the IP camera link. Over 7,400 camera models are listed on the compatibility list and have been extensively tested for compatibility by our developers and also support many camera functions of the specific model. If an ONVIF compatible camera, which is not yet listed but is from Axis, Bosch, Hikvision, Dahua or Armcrest, then the camera can be integrated via the generic API of the respective manufacturer. This is especially recommended for models which are not yet listed in the compatibility list. The big advantage here is that the generic profile supports more function than the integration through the generic ONVIF profile. The topic of ONVIF is also in the transition of our next slide. ONVIF, as you might already know, is simply the standardization of surveillance standard. This helps better interoperability. The common industry standard means that not every company has to set its own standard. The standard is open to every company. Synology Surveillance Station supports the ONVIF profiles SNG. It is recommended to integrate a camera via ONVIF if it is not yet listed as compatible and cannot be integrated via the generic API. If a camera is not to be found on the compatibility list, nor is ONVIF compatible, then it is also possible to integrate it by tapping into the RTSP stream. Please note that the RTSP stream is tapped directly and the path is model dependent, and no additional camera functions can be used using this method. You can use the iSpy Connect database to get the necessary RTSP information of the respective camera model. The camera configurations you set up in Surveillance Station are also transferred to the camera. You can also control PTZ cameras through Surveillance Station. Fisheye equalization is also supported. In addition, the two-way audio function can be used with corresponding cameras. Did you know that you can also control motion detection from the cameras or Surveillance Station? Smaller optimizations can have large effect on the overall performance. Using the camera as the source of the live image has the following advantages: lower latency and load on the NAS, and as a drawback it should be mentioned that at this point that the camera may not be powerful enough for a variety of parallel connections and complex network management. With motion detections, as mentioned before, you have several options. If motion detection is found in Surveillance Station, it is to be performed on the side. Motion detection should always be applied to the first stream. Small tip: always put the lower resolution on stream 1. When video motion detection is applied after Surveillance Station, stream 1 will be used if no motion is detected. If motion is detected, stream 2 will be used, so higher resolution stream will be used. This small configuration allows you to optimize memory usage. Motion detection can be performed by the camera, which must be configured on the camera interface. An exception is the ACAP video detection from Axis. This can also be configured from the surveillance station. To know which motion detection to configure, let's look at the general objective of such a video motion detection. You should not perform motion detection in irrelevant areas. If possible, motion detection should be done on the camera side to simply distribute the load. A video analysis can reduce further false alarms. Here you can see a picture where a motion detection in the whole picture makes very little sense. You can easily define certain zones where motion detection is useful. It is important here to understand terms of sensitivity and the threshold value. The video motion detection works on the basis of pixel change. If enough pixels change, then the motion is detected. Sensitivity controls how high or how low the sensitivity is with regard to a pixel change mean that the threshold value defines how many pixels must change before a movement in the video is detected. I will now show you how to connect a compatible camera not listed on-with camera and how to connect a non-on-with camera via RTSP stream. I will now show you how to connect a compatible camera, a Hikvision camera using generic API, and an on-with camera. First, I will add and integrate Axis camera. Today's model I'll be using is P1355. I will change the password for the camera, test its connection, click Next. Once it is integrated, I will click on Finish, and now I'm going to add another camera. Now I will be adding a Hikvision camera, but this time I will be using the generic API. We have to find Hikvision brand, and here we go, generic Hikvision camera. We will assign an IP address, change the password, and test the connection. Once everything is working, we will click Next. And the camera is now integrated. An on-with camera that is not listed in the compatibility list can be added in a similar fashion. Under brand, we pick on-with. We will copy an IP address of this camera and we will give it a name, simply call it on-with camera. And then we will give it a username and a password. Simply call it admin. We will give it some generic password. And now let's test the connection. You need to wait a little bit for it to load. And there we go. The camera is now integrated. Now in the final step, we are going to integrate a custom camera which is not on-with compatible or found on compatibility list. For this kind of custom integration, we will select custom as the brand name, and then in the streaming path we have to simply enter the RTSP path and include its username and password. I have downloaded the RTSP information from the iSpy Connect database in advance, and now the only thing I have to do is enter the path. Let's test the connection. The camera works. Now we will click Next, and there we go. A camera that is not on-with or found on compatibility list is now integrated. Now we will go to the live view settings, from where we can now make live image stream settings. If we don't want the stream profile to change dynamically, we can select this box. Now we'll set up the event detection options. Once we are in the dialog options, we can choose the algorithm source as the surveillance station. Once we do this, we can set up the sensitivity and threshold. Let's adjust the sensitivity and let's adjust the threshold. Now we can edit detection areas from our camera. Let's first adjust the size of the pixels right here, and then we can pick this area that we want for motion detections. Let's save these options, and then we can close the dialog for motion detections. Since this is only for demonstration purposes, I'll be disabling motion detection, and now I will just close this dialog box. Yeah, we will not save anything. Now I'm going to show you how to adjust different streams. For high quality stream, we will pick stream 2. When it comes to balance quality, we are also going to pick stream 2. And when it comes to low quality, we are going to pick stream 1. When we scroll below, we can also adjust resolutions and frame rates for our different streams. Once we set it all up, we can click on Save and we should be good to go. Once we finish this, under Advanced tab, we should select Automatically Adjust Stream Profile, and we should select High Quality under Switch Profile option. In the recording settings, we can set up the recording schedule and fine-tune it by day or by blocks of 30 minutes. Let's pick a recording schedule where motion-detected video recording is done on workdays from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. and 24 hours on Sundays for added security. If you have an Axis camera like we do, you can also configure Axis VMD ACAP video motion detection. To do this, simply click on ACAP VMD tab and configure it. That's all for our video today about video integration and configuring cameras. Now you know how to install cameras, integrate licenses, stream setting configurations, make minor optimizations, and configure motion detection. If this video has made you curious for more, Part 4 will explain how to configure your own custom live view in Synology Surveillance Station. Thank you for your attention.